Yo, what's going on, everybody? Black Compass Media back live with another one. Shout out to the people that's out there right now that are going to see this. Everybody in the whole society, man. Everybody in battle rap and everything like that, man. We got another one. Exclusive interview. The interview series will be on Caffeine. Shout out to Caffeine, the whole team there. The entire staff, URLTV.tv as well. Before I do anything, I want to make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel on Caffeine. Everybody make sure you share the links and everything like that too. This will be available for people on Caffeine and as well available for people, on the YouTubes. But that drops a lot later. So to get the exclusive and all that stuff here first, you come to the Caffeine. You feel what I'm saying? So without further ado, I'm joined by a very special guest, in my opinion. Now, we had the interview before on Black Compass on the podcast. If you follow that on your iTunes, your SoundCloud, Google Play, so on and so forth. But coming off of what I would consider a great battle, I see the C word being thrown out about this battle a lot with Jerry Wess, KOTD champion, URL alumni, PG alumni, like one of the forefathers of this modern art of scheming, which we will get into as well. You know him, I know him. Chilla Jones, welcome.
Hey, brother. Glad to be back, bro. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Life is good, man. It's good to see you. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that you in good spirits and everything like that, man. But I appreciate you for joining up, man. But before everything, man, how's Chilla Jones doing, man? How's everything going? You know what I'm saying? I know we getting in the fall. Everybody getting the shorties ready for school. Knock on wood.
That's a fact, man.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact, man.
What's going on with Chilla?
I mean, everything good, bro. I'm literally, outside this hair spot with my little one.
Mm-hmm.
She in there getting her due done.
Right, right.
Getting right. But yeah, man. So pardon me if there's any vehicle noises or weird shit like that.
Yeah.
Try to make it work. But I'm good, man. All things considered, obviously it's a tricky time in the world right now. All you can do is stay safe, don't play around. So I'm good, man. I'm staying out the way, doing what I do, not making any unnecessary trips, you know what I'm saying, like. Really just playing it safe, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's especially when you have kids, man, it's a whole different, no matter what you believe in, no matter what you think is real, no matter how overhyped you think this COVID shit is, man, when you got a kid, you don't take that chance, bro. Like,
right.
So, I'm just doing everything I can to stay out the way, not put myself in harm's way. But all things considered, man, I'm pretty good, bro. It's, this pandemic has changed a lot of things inside and outside the battle rap world. Right.
It has. I mean, and there's a lot to talk about with that, because I think a lot of people have actually benefited from, us being in this time right now and making the best of it, right? And if you are a content creator, if you are a creative period, and you've still been putting in work, I tip my hat, because this has been one of the hardest times to create content. I mean, it's 5 of us on our platform, and there's times where I'm like, I need a break. You know what I'm saying? Or the fellas with the kids and everything need a break and things like that. So people who can stay consistent and active, man, I just salute that. You know what I mean? And I think you're one of those people for a lot of people in the culture. You feel me? So I gotta give you your props on that, bro. But let me get right into it. The topic of the day, what everyone is talking about, what is shaking up the battle rap world, what is taking the battle rap world by storm. I had to kind of refresh. You know how you refresh the Twitter feed a bunch of times just to see what everybody talking about? And it was all this commotion this morning. All this commotion, Chilla. Method Man.
What's going on?
Versus Method Man. Let's talk about it.
What'd you think about it?
Listen, I had to watch. You know what? First, I watched it and I did this thing where I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? I had a moment what did I just watch? Because whatever, Avocado is taking this thing to somewhere else entirely. And I had to have a moment of just step back and say, well, how does it look? What is it? Because I think a lot of times battle rap fans are reflexively sort of hateful toward any sort of new innovation we bring to the culture. But I want to know from your standpoint, as somebody who shot with Avo and things like that, and this being sort of a new kind of way to, you know, kind of deliver the content, I want to get your thoughts on the battle itself and just first off the way that it was shot and everything too. So what did you think about it?
I thought it was really dope, man. I think the concept is genius. Shout out to Math. You know, because coming right off the My Expert Opinion, this Legends Only thing that he is building and trying to do, it's incredible. I hope Avo is a part of all of them. I hope that same formula they use for this battle, they use for future Legends Only battles. I thought the battle was really good, man. And honestly, going into it, you know, obviously, I think for the past couple of days, we've heard about the battle, and it was kind of a mystery as far as when it was going to drop or when we were going to see it. You know, so I think there was a lot of, I think because of other industry rappers who have come into this culture, I think a lot of us had an assumption about how well Method Man would perform.
Right.
And I was afraid he would sound a little dated.
Dated?
I was afraid that he would, and not because I don't feel like he keeps up with the culture. Obviously, you know, as a judge, and you know, I know Meth really well, so I know he follows the culture. I know he keeps up with the battles, but I wasn't sure how that was going to translate because, you know, I feel that way about everybody who stepped in from the KOTY, obviously to an extent keeps up, but he sounds dated sometimes. You know what I mean? When he's rapping, so it's like, you know, just because somebody keeps up or watches battle rap in this day and age doesn't mean that they know how to write with that in mind,
right,
or create with that in mind.
Right.
And so I wasn't sure, and I think a lot of people weren't sure if Method Man was going to be able to pull it off. And he did, man. He definitely exceeded my expectations. I know it was one round. I'm glad it was one round because I feel like the bigger the sample size, the more criticisms there would have been.
Right.
The more, you know, the more the culture would have picked it apart and found things to hate. It's a one round battle between two legends who both did their thing. It's a quick, easy watch. I don't see how anybody can have anything negative to say about this battle.
Right. Right. I mean, I feel a similar way, but I have to ask you though, when you see a new somebody else coming back, you know, into, you know, or stepping into the game, you know, I wouldn't doubt that Method Man has been on the street corner rapping against like 100 people. I wouldn't doubt that because that's just the era that they all come from. But what are you personally looking for? I mean, besides like, okay, well, you know, as the cadence is up to date, things like that. Like as a rapper, you know, what are the type of things that you like? All right, son got it, or versus like, nah, it's trash. Because I feel like y'all standard is a little different than ours.
Yeah, I mean, and I think even amongst battle rappers, you know, I think we all look for certain things. You know, for me, what stuck out to me about Method Man's performance in this battle was the wordplay. He had a lot of wordplay in there that was super slick. He had the catch a liquid swords.
Fire.
He had the you know, putting on a clinic, you better know what method on or something like that.
Yeah.
He had a lot of joints like that I was like, oh, okay. like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, because, you know, I've seen the Cannabises, I've seen the Cassidys, I've seen the Keith Murrays, and I've seen all these people come back and do this and just look out of place. Just look out of place. And man, Meth was so good, bro.
Right.
And now I want to see him 3 rounds.
Now I want to see him.
Now I want to see an act like a real, actual 3 round, 3 minute. Like put him against another industry guy if you want. I don't care, but I want to see Meth again. And I mean, I don't even know who. If Meth battled somebody else within the culture, who would you want to see if he went 3 rounds? If
I could say anybody, I actually would want him to battle somebody not from the East necessarily. I think Math, you know what I mean? Any East Coast MC for the most part is gonna have a little bit of Meth influence, like, or a little bit of Wu-Tang influence, or like just that sauce is so ingrained. So I would love to see him go up against like a Gotti or you know what I mean, or B Dot, or you know what I'm saying, somebody like that.
Yeah.
They draw from different influences, like, right? So, you know, they drawing from other things. So I think the contrast would be ill, but obviously it got to be somebody with some work, because Method Man is not playing. He ain't playing.
That's a fact.
He not playing.
That's a fact.
And I saw it from the beginning. I was nervous. I'm gonna keep it real. I was nervous when I first saw it because he's sweating in there like a mud. Like, yo. You know what I'm saying? You know how that be, Chilla. Like, you've been on stage, you're like, man, son, like, I don't know. He don't look like he, you know what I mean? But once he started kicking, the content was up to date, the cadences, the way that he was sort of splitting up stuff. You could tell that he had been watching enough not to say certain recycled type of angles or OBC type of setups and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like he had it together. So I want to see him up against somebody from the West, or even somebody from the Midwest, like Verb or a Cal, somebody like that. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody from somewhere else with other influences. You feel me?
Yeah, I think Verb or Cal would be dope. I think Diz would be dope. Yeah, I like all those names, bro. Yeah. I like all those names. And I think he would be able to hold his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for somebody of his stature to come in and be able to do that, I think that is what would open the floodgates for more industry guys. Because I think what discourages a lot of them is seeing their peers jump in the arena and fail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Banksy's been talking about it forever, jumping in. Fab has talked about it. Meek has talked about it. You know, Drake has talked about it. All these guys have talked about or flirted with the idea of stepping in, but then you see what Diz did to Cannabis, and you see, you know, how Cassidy has fared, and you're like, maybe it won't go my way. You know what I'm saying? Like we are really professionals at what we do. Like, no matter how good at rapping you are, it's a different art form. You know what I'm saying? Than just being on a beat and rapping. So, you know, I don't know necessarily who Meth should go against, but I think if Meth did 3 rounds and did really well, man, I think that would open the door for us seeing more industry guys jumping in. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, Legends Only could do that too. You know what I'm saying? Because what Math has designed, if he were to get like a Crooked Eye or Royce or you know, somebody else, you know, that could do a 1-round display like that got us excited. It kind of gives them the itch. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Method Man, after doing that and seeing people's reaction, I wouldn't be surprised if he had the itch.
Right.
Jump in and do another, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to see Meth again, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you make a good point. It is the sort of thing that, like, yo, if Meth can do it, yo ass, you not better than Meth. Like, you could jump your ass in this ring. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
And the other thing I want to ask you, I'm gonna get right to it. Chilla Jones, a Legends type of series, something like that. Would you be signing up? Because I heard you throw a Crooked Eye, somebody like that. I could see him and you know what I'm saying, doing something like. I think that'd be ill. So what would you think about jumping in like that?
I would love to. I think Crook would be dope. I think Royce would be dope. Man, there's so many people. I think I really rock with Elzai.
Right.
I rock with Sci-Hi. You know, all Absol, all these dudes. I think could put on a very similar display to what Meth did. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to go 1 round with any one of those guys.
Yeah.
And just flex the pen and have it be that type of no crowd. Just the whole production value of it was fire, man. Salute to Avocado.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely be down, bro. And I would love to jump in the ring with any of those guys I just named. That would for sure be an honor. But I would love to be a part of it, man. I would absolutely love to be a part of it.
Let me ask you this though, because this is one of the things that I saw, you know, a lot of people, and this kind of goes to the whole idea that battle rap fans in general, we tend to just reflexively be against shit. I saw a lot of people saying that maybe it's a little bit overproduced, right? It's like when Vince McMahon jumped from WWF to WWE and it becomes battle entertainment rather than battle rap, right? how do you view the production sort of fitting into that? Because I think production helps. I think it helps get another audience, but I do see the argument for keeping it, you know, raw in some sense, right? So how do you sort of measure that in your head as a battler, as somebody who has to display the art? Like, how do you kind of feel about that?
I mean, I don't, you know, I know in battle rap, I feel like we always force ourselves to choose. You know what I mean? Because everything is subjective. So we watch a battle and we force ourselves, you know, a lot of times, not every time. If it's a really good battle, maybe not. But most times we force ourselves to pick a winner and a loser, or to pick a, you know, everything is ranked. Everything is compared. Everything is put in order. Right. I think there's room for both, man. I don't think that battle rap should just be one way or should just be the other way. Obviously, you know, URL, caffeine, you know, a lot of the leagues are still doing the battle rap that we know and love in the same way that we've known and loved it over the past 10 or 15 years.
Sure.
And then you have something like this, which obviously can branch a gap potentially with more casual fans. You know, you're going to have a bunch of Method Man fans who maybe don't even know that he's judging that are going to watch this. And, you know, maybe they'll go look up a bunch of math battles now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know how this is going to usher in a new fan base. And I think ultimately, if we can grow this culture to a point where many of us at this level can totally live off it, you know, and including the bloggers and including the media, and, you know, when this thing gets big enough to where, you know, we can feed our kids off of this, and not just, you know, five or 10 of us at a certain level, but I mean the culture, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think it's situations like this legend only thing that is going to appeal to that larger audience. So to answer your question, I think there's room for both, man. You know, I understand people thinking that maybe it doesn't have that gritty feel. You know, that there's no thought. You know, maybe Method can choke because obviously he probably got more than one time to go through it, and they take the, you know what I'm saying, like,
right.
But some people don't watch it for that. Some people don't watch battles to see if somebody's gonna punch somebody in the face, or to see if somebody's gonna, you know what I'm saying, choke all 3 rounds. Like, some people just want to watch a battle that's entertaining. Some people just want to watch a battle that's entertaining.
There's a guy in the comments now who said, "Look, I only want to see battle shot this way from now on. Like, you know what I mean? New fan, I only want to see this like this now. You know what I mean?"
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And it's gonna usher in a lot of those fans, and obviously, I don't know if those fans are going to be able to get into, you know, the URL stuff as we know it, because people choke, people slip, people stumble, people forget their lines. Sometimes they push each other. You know, it's not scripted. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Whatever happens. But, you know, at the same time, that battle is shot beautifully, man. Yeah. And that's the type of stuff that if you put that on Netflix, you put that on Hulu, you put that on, you know what I'm saying, and give the masses the opportunity to watch something like that, it's going to create interest. It's going to create interest. It's going to bring new fans. It's going to bring more revenue, which means people get paid more. Leagues make more money. Media makes more money. You know what I'm saying? I think ultimately it's good for the culture. And I think there's room for both. You know, I think the stuff like this can help fund the stuff that we like, the unscripted stuff, the hardcore stuff. There's room for both, man. And I don't know why people are always feeling like they need to choose. And this is a conversation I had a lot in regards to Drop the Mic, which I used to be a part of as far as being on the writing team and the coaching team.
Sure.
You know, when that show was on in Hollywood, people were saying, well, this isn't, we don't want to watch this. We don't want to watch celebrities battle and you know, they're not writing their material and this and that. Like, we don't want to see that. That's not real. And then the flip side of it is, man, that shit got millions of viewers every week, dog. Like, and I'm sure some of those viewers went on YouTube and maybe looked up some of the episodes, and then those episodes led to a compliment battle, and that compliment battle led to another Carter Deems battle and that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And so I see the bigger picture. I don't think a lot of people do, and that's cool.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so either. But you know, eventually you end up bringing the audience toward it. So it, you know, it ends up working out. You know what I mean? But that's definitely dope. I'm glad that you are, you know, receptive to that and everything. I do want to talk about this Jerry Wess battle, though. I have to talk about it because at the end of the day, what you've been able to do on URL since you've returned, and we'll get into URL Chilla versus KOTD Chilla, which I think is a fallacy, but you know, it is what it is. Now, you the same person. He's the same person, people. It's the same guy. Stop doing that.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
But let's talk about the battle because everyone's talking about it being a possible classic in terms of the way that you guys put it together. And I think Jerry Wess is doing himself a lot of favors and kind of separating himself. He's multifaceted, but I want your reaction to the battle. I see gentlemen's 30s floating around. I tend to think that maybe one of them round a little close. That first round might be a little, you know, but you know, I think it was a great look overall. But yeah, your thoughts on the battle? Like, did you expect him to come with that level material?
I didn't. You know, I wasn't sure, how, you know, because we had shorter prep. We had short prep. You know, it was under 2 weeks. You know, so I've done this before, and I've done it a lot because I'm you know, I've battled everywhere. I just have a ton of battles. I have 70 battles, so I've done battles
crazy
and written, you know, 24 hours notice. I battled Disaster with 4 days notice. I battled Dialect on King of the Dot 7 days notice. So like getting ready in short prep is not, it's not new to me. You know, there's actually a comfort zone in there for me. I wasn't sure how Jerry was going to be able to keep up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not super familiar with Jerry's career, but I don't know how many battles he's had where he has had, you know, under a week or under 2 weeks to prepare and performed at a very high level. And so I wasn't, you know, I wasn't sure that the level of material Jerry was going to come with, but Jerry was phenomenal, man. Jerry was high energy, and honestly, going first, you know, for everybody that liked my performance, and I'm very appreciative. He set the bar every round, and he let me know where I needed to go to be able to keep up or win in every round. And if Jerry doesn't set that bar for me every round, I don't know that my performance looks the same.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Because I'm a especially when I go second, bro, like I'm somebody that if you tell me if I can visually or at least mentally see or understand the bar and where it's set, I can almost always pass it. I don't care who's in front of me.
Right.
I can almost always get there, especially in that setting. So you know, if I'd have gone first, it might not have looked the same. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I would have done well. But getting to hear Jerry after me for 3 rounds, if I'm setting a bar, even if I set a bar higher than he did, I'm sure Jerry would have done better. You know what I'm saying? Because he would have understood, okay, I got to go here with it because Chilla just went here with it. So, you know, salute to Jerry because he was dope, fire material, short notice, always professional, always brings 3 rounds. You know, he's another guy that's falling into that, you know, me, Danny Myers, you know, always show up, always give 100%, workhorse, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just consistent, you know what I'm saying? And still growing and getting better. As far as the battle, in the moment, I called it a 2-1.
Okay.
And I think I gave him
first. Can't be the second. No way it's the second. No way.
You want to know what's funny? I think it is the second.
It's the second round?
I'm not sure. I think it is. I remember feeling like I edged the first.
Okay.
And you know, I don't necessarily think it was clear, but I think I edged it at least.
Okay.
I think on camera it's probably a little clearer. His second round was really dope. I also really liked my second round.
That was the Jerry Wess career angle. Wasn't it the Jerry Wess career, or was that the third?
That was the third. I don't think the third was close at all.
And and Chilla, that's the thing that I want to get into, because it's levels to the scheming thing. There's levels to that. That's what you did in that breakdown. I felt like was masterful, because he's been hit with Jerry Wess a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like little highlights, this and that. But you broke down the entire career, and then you brought it back to Boston, which I thought, you know what I'm saying, I thought added another level to it altogether. You feel what I'm saying? So it just kind of levels to it, and I respect Jerry, because he decided, all right, I can scheme too. I'm gonna use this opportunity to kind of flex the pen too. You know what I'm saying? And you've had some great back and forths. Like if I can name a couple,
he actually did a lot of scheming, man.
Right. And it kind of kept up and all that too. Let's get into KOTD Chilla Jones, URL Chilla Jones. There is a thought that's out there that you are a different person on URL as compared to KOTD. And I would like to understand from your vantage point if you feel like that's the case. Maybe you feel like the writing or the performance is a little bit more intense, or if you feel like, you know, like, yeah, that's just fans doing what they do and things like that. So what are your thoughts on people kind of taking that, you know, sort of tack where they say, yo, like he's a different guy on URL as opposed to KOTD? What do you think about that?
You know, the king of the dot side of things, it's more humor. It's more angles. It's a little more tactical. On URL, it's more aggression. It's more punches. It's more wordplay schemes. You know, so my content is a little different. It's not a huge discrepancy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a totally different person. And I you know, I think my performance style, if you look at my last 2 battles versus Real Deal compared to, you know, the 4 battles I've done on URL, my performance style is identical. Right. I don't perform differently. You know, I've turned up the energy, I've turned up the aggression, and anybody that thinks that the performance side is different, they just haven't watched like my last year on
I
on
agree.
The Dot. You know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying? Like from the Jonai battle to the Iron Solomon battle to the Ice battle to both Real Deal battles, my aggression's been high, my energy's been high, I've performed better. You know, so all I did was take that show on the road to URL. So that much, you know, I don't think has changed. You know, like I said, the only difference is with King of the Dot, I look for more angles when I'm breaking down my opponents, and I might spend, you know, 8 lines on an angle, 12 lines on an angle. I may not draw it out for a round or for half a round. URL, I try to find an angle that I can have fun with.
Right.
That I can really, really get into, that I can come up with 3, 4, 5 different punchlines off of it and really, really compact it. Because I think for me, the most disappointing thing sometimes, and I'm not an angle guy by any sense of the imagination, but I hate when somebody picks a great angle against someone. Yeah. And I feel like they leave so much on the table about it. You know what I'm saying?
About it.
Like so many people have done, you know, certain angles against me, and then I'd be like, man, I would have did this, I would have did that, I would have took this angle way further. Than they took it. They stopped at a point where they could have just been getting momentum. You know, I'm sure that, you know, if I'm gonna compare Jerry to Jerry Wess, it's not just going to be a bar. It's just not going to be, you know, 4 bars comparing. I'm going to give you about a minute and a half, and I'm going to really break you down. And I'm going to really, like, honestly, I had more stuff. I had to chop that angle down to get it to fit within the time limits that we had. But I had so much more in that angle that I wanted to do, that I wanted to mention, that I wanted to, you know, talk about. I wanted to talk about Jerry Wess being a GM for certain teams, the Clippers and the Grizzlies and all these teams, and how he had a better career as a GM than a player. I had a lot of different things that I wanted to talk about and mention and I really just had to kind of like condense it down, take what I felt like were the biggest, the biggest, most impactful lines, and put them all together, man.
In terms of your style and what you bring to URL, I do feel like URL is more of a lunchroom. You know what I'm saying? Like it's straight up lunchroom. You know what I'm saying? Fifth period. Who? You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna try to embarrass you. So
it's a certain way you have to be on URL to be successful. You know what I'm saying? And with King of the Dot, it's a very diverse. You know, you got people that specialize in jokes. You got your Ilmax who rap really good and take incredible angles. You have your Carter Deems, your Cheddar Cheese, and these guys are just funny white boys. And then you got, you know what I'm saying, the Shoddy Peas. He's a punchline dude, and Big K is over there for a long time, and like any type of style can really flourish on King of the Dot in some way, shape, or form. So like with URL, more so now than even back in the day. Back in the day, SoCon could get on stage in a tux.
Bro, I still can't believe he did that. I still can't believe he did that.
I don't think that happens in 2020. Like, I don't think he can get on a, you know what I'm saying? Like, that same SoCon, not looking at the SoCon we saw last year.
Oof.
I don't think that SoCon from Smack in the tux that smoked Fox. I don't think that SoCon doesn't get booed off stage in a big room in this era. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. There's a certain way you have to be. You have to present yourself. Certain way you have to sound, a certain confidence, a certain thing you have to embody to be successful on URL. It is why it is the most difficult place to be successful.
Right.
Because a lot of the things that you need to be successful here aren't things that can be taught. Most of it, you either have it or you don't. Right. And the people who don't have it get to a certain ceiling and they can't ever break through. And so, I think over the past couple of years, I've definitely tapped into a lot of those qualities that, I didn't show a lot earlier in my career.
Okay.
And I think a lot of that is contributing to my success right now on URL.
You think because not like you had to do so much to sort of revamp. And I was there for when you were like, all right, let me go back and maybe not be as scheme heavy, or I mean, because you was trying to win Pulitzer Prizes up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was up there in front of 3,000 people, like with the entendres on deck and everybody drunk. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DNA Battle, which I know that's the one that you could get back if you had the chance. You know what I'm saying?
I wish I could get it back, man. There was so much I didn't understand. And at that point in my career, I just thought, if I just show up and rap better than you, everything's gonna go my way. Like that was my attitude. Show up, rap better than you, and I'm good. Right. And I've always been confident in my ability to rap. I've always felt like no matter who you put me in front of, I can make it. I can win or I can make it close, no matter who it is. So much more to it in this day and age with battle rap, especially when it comes to big stages and big crowds. Very little of that is rapping. You know what I'm saying? It's literally at that point when you have your Hitmans and your 2,000, 3,000 person crowds and your big stages. It's a performance art. It's no longer about who raps better. It is a performance art. And if you don't know how to tap into that side, you will drown. You will drown. You know what I'm saying? And so, and this is my thing, man. This is why I've been making such a strong case for Summer Madness, even though right now it's not even a big stage, because of that battle, because of the reputation that was created when I did not understand how to handle that crowd.
Right.
And so I think even, obviously it's we're in a different time and era. And if I was on Summer Madness 9, wouldn't be 3,000 people, wouldn't be a big stage. It'd be totally different. But I think the stigma that
Chilla Jones cannot show up on big cards. Started there, and I need to put that shit to bed. Let's get that shit over.
We gotta get that one out of there. Yeah.
Let's get that over with. Let me jump on Summer Madness. Give me Rock. Give me Shine. Give me Mike. Give me Jess.
Okay. Now you're talking.
Give me somebody. Give us a month to get ready, and watch me take the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let's kill that whole narrative. Let's kill that whole entire narrative.
Okay.
I've been waiting. I've been itching to get back on a Gnome or Summer Madness to kill this fucking narrative, Tony.
I've been waiting. Who the prime targets though? The people who would be, the Rocks. I heard her Rock. I hear K Shine. I like those situations.
Right now it's Rock.
It's Rock.
Right now it's Rock. Because I feel like he's within reach.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
And outside the fact that I think Rock's performance versus Daylight was the best Rock I saw in years.
Right.
I know that I can do and even outdo what Daylight did.
Wow.
Versus Rock.
Wow.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Make the call.
Straight
URL,
up.
make the call. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want another performance like Daylight gave y'all, make the call.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Phone's on.
I hear you.
Make the call.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, man, like at this point right now, Tony, like the biggest thing that I want to make clear to people is like, nobody can beat me in these settings. Nobody can beat me.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
I don't care who you give me. I don't care what their special power is. I don't know how good they think they are, how much time we have to prep. It doesn't matter. In a setting where the old Chilla felt like all he had to do was show up and rap really well to win, that's really what it is now. And I rap way better than I did back then. Nobody on God's green earth, I don't care if it's Lux, I don't care if it's Mook, I don't care if it's any legend you name. If we have the same amount of prep time in a room with no crowd and just a camera, they're going to lose.
Straight like that.
They're going to lose. Straight like that. And it's the same effect that people felt when Summer Madness 1 came and Tech 9 did what Tech 9 did on that stage.
Yeah.
They were terrified of Tech. Nobody wanted to see Tech after that.
Yeah.
Tech in a big room with 3,000 people, I don't want to deal with it. That's what everybody was saying. Everybody was saying that. Do not give me Tech 9 on Summer Madness or Gnome. I don't want him on a big stage. And this is the inverse of that. Niggas do not want to see Chilla in a small room with no crowd. Because then they have to rap better than me. Doesn't matter how aggressive they are. Doesn't matter if they bark. Doesn't matter if they're swaggy. Don't matter. It doesn't matter who it is. In that room, you got to rap. And if you ain't better than me, going to lose, man. And I don't think anybody raps better in that setting than I do. I don't think anybody does, bro.
Okay. Yeah. I like this type of talk. I like this.
That's just how I feel, man. That's literally how I feel. I'm watching everybody. I'm watching Gnome. I'm watching the Ultimate Madness. I'm watching the showcases in the weeks in between. I'm watching the rooftop joints. Who has a better body of work over the past 8 months than I do? Nitty small room, Twerk small room, Geechee rooftop, Jerry Wess small room. Who has 4 battles at least in small room settings, small room / no crowd settings? Who has a better body of work over the past year? Nobody does. Nobody does. And I don't think it's that close.
Okay.
Who would be next?
After you, over the last year or so, who's been putting in work, or who's had 4 rounds that can come close to what you've been doing
Who's
lately?
had 4 performances as good as me and Nitty, me and Geechee, me and Jerry, and me and Twerk?
There's
no
really name
one.
anybody.
And niggas is so lucky that Nitty was 2019, and I can't count that for my Champion of the Year run. If that was included in my Champion of the Year run, the shit would be over already. It would be over already. But that's okay. I got a couple more in the chamber.
Yeah.
I got a couple more in the chamber. We gonna stay busy. We're gonna stay active.
Right.
We're gonna see. I know. Volume 6 is coming up, so we've been talking about that a little bit.
Volume 6. Who's gonna sign up for the volume Smoke with Chilla Jones?
No one.
Man, listen.
No.
Man, listen.
No
Wait,
one.
so okay. The next things that you have lined up, are they bigger names or on the same caliber of names that you've been getting recently? Because you've been getting some nice names over at URL. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
for
names,
sure.
I feel like you're more than entitled to, right? So is it
Yeah.
going to continue in that same vein? Are we going to give shots like we did with Jerry Wess? I think that was a great opportunity to give a guy a shot. But what's the plan for you?
I mean, for this year, man, I just want to be like, my aspiration right now is Champion of the Year. That's my aspiration, Champion of the Year. I think right now I'm the front runner, and I think the only way I lose is if I lose clearly in one of these battles, or if I'm inactive and somebody else steals the show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think if Danny wins the tournament, he makes an interesting case. I think Nitty makes an interesting case right now.
Right.
I think Mike is out of the talk. I think Saga's out of the talk.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. In both cases, right? And
both cases.
All it takes is one or two. Saga, the last two, it's like,
man. He went from Champion of the Year, potentially the front runner, to not on anybody's Champion of the Year radar. Same for Mike. Even though he won the battle with Ryder, I feel like it hurt him more than it helped him.
Talk about losing the war, Chilla. Losing the war.
He lost the war. He lost the war, man. And even though Ryder got bounced, he won the war, dog.
It seemed like Ryder won to me. It seemed
he won
like
the war.
He walking around like he won?
He won the war, dog. He won the war, dog.
Bruh.
If not for nothing, he laid a blueprint out that Bill Collector just used and won. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's he might have lost his own individual battle, but he ripped an angle open that allowed Bill Collector to say, "Give me that." Boop. Thank you. Thank you. We out of here. And he ran with it, boy.
Yeah, he did. He
ran with it, boy. Bill was incredible.
As a judge, that was tough to watch. I ain't gonna front. That was tough. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man, I think the only way I don't get Champion of the Year this year is, like I said, if I lose clear, which I don't see happening in these settings, or if I'm inactive. You know what I'm saying? If B-Dot jumps on Summer Madness and shows out, and then has a rooftop battle and shows out, and then has a volume and shows out, B-Dot could get it because he's got the 2-on-2. He got the clear win over Nitty, in my opinion, and then he has a Battle of the Year candidate with Saga.
I agree.
So the B-Dot is also up there. I might have to see B-Dot on a rooftop.
I think you and B-Dot should talk. I think he would have a lot of things to say to you, Chilla.
So he did an interview and said he gonna drop 30 on the Kingpin. He said I'm a silence all the critics and I'm gonna drop 30 on Chilla. So okay.
Yeah.
So about September, October, we'll see. I would love to see it.
Right. Yeah.
I would love to see it. Let's dance.
Yeah, me too. I rock with B-Dot. I like his work. His work is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. B-Dot is fired, man. We go back and forth a lot, especially online. Yeah. I got nothing but love for B-Dot, man. B-Dot is an incredible lyricist. He's an incredible human being. You can't beat me, but he's an incredible person. If it was up to me, Tony, it would be Rock on Summer Madness. It would be B-Dot on the rooftop, and then I would close it out, Volume 6. Give me I've been chasing O-Red for a while, man.
Yo, O-Red in the volume makes sense though. O-Red is one of them guys in the volume.
It makes total sense, man. I just need for him to show up, dog, because I didn't like what he did with JC.
Right.
And, you know, the fact that it's a big stage, I give you a pass. I didn't like what he did with Danny. I thought Danny won pretty handily.
Yeah, that was tough.
And you supposed to be that. He's supposed to be that guy in small rooms, man.
He is.
So I didn't like to see what happened with him and Danny. I definitely didn't like to see what happened with him and JC. But that could also mean that he's coming back looking to kill. And if I get that kind of O-Red, I'm happy.
Right.
That's the O-Red I want. So if it was up to me, Rock on Summer Madness, give me beat out a month later, and then give me Red a month later after that, and then just give me my 10 racks and let me go home.
Just give me my money after that. I need everything.
Let's you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get on the road.
Okay.
But But yeah, man, you know, I'm definitely gunning for champion of the year, man. That's a very conscious focus for me. I think it would be big for me. There's not a lot of things I haven't accomplished in this culture, Tony. You know, I've headlined in different countries. I've done Gnome. I've been King of the Dot champ.
Talk about
I have classics on every major platform.
Talk about it. Yeah.
I have an all-time battle, top 5 battle with JC.
Yeah.
I got 1 million view battles.
Yeah.
Only probably 2 things I haven't done or 3 things that I want to do that I haven't done is Champion of the Year. It's Summer Madness, and it's a Lux battle. Those are the last 3 things I want to do, man. If I get all 3 of those out the way, y'all can have this.
Okay.
I'll jump in the media seat with you and do my interviews, create my content, and stay the fuck out the way and let the new wave step in and you know what I'm saying, benefit from the culture like I've been lucky to benefit from the culture over the past decade, man.
Right. Right.
You know, but yeah, man, I'm just, you know, more than anything, man, I feel like I'm finally getting my respect. And I feel like it's been a while that I've been in this game, and I have felt like I've been like overlooked. I feel like I've done incredible things at King of the Dot, and nobody cared. It wasn't paid attention to. You know, I feel like I influenced the entire culture for 3 years with my style. Like I feel like I've done so much, and it's just been overlooked, and especially after like the Geechee and this Jerry Wess battle, I feel like people are finally saying like, okay, he's one of them guys.
Yeah, he's working one-on-one. Yeah.
He's ascending into God tier, which is what I'm trying to do, especially in this setting. I think it'll also be interesting too, though, to see if this translates. You know, eventually, hopefully, whenever this pandemic is over and things can go back to crowds, I'm really curious to see how I adjust.
Right.
And I'm curious to see how the culture adjusts.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I think that's worth it, man. And you know, it's something that we definitely going to be looking out for. I gotta ask you though. There's 2 things I gotta ask you before we get out of here. First of all,
I got one for you too though. But let's go.
All right. So first of all, tournament setting. Chilla Jones, we put up 150 bands. 16 of your contemporaries. Is Chilla Jones entering that tournament or what?
Yeah, what's the date?
Oh well, I don't know. I don't know anything. This is hypothetical.
Okay, yeah, no.
What's the date? Chilla like yo.
Hypothetically,
yeah.
Hypothetically, give me a date.
And
then just tell me who I have to beat to get to the money.
Okay.
And then let's go.
And
let's go. I'll be there 2 weeks. I'll be there 2 weeks.
All right, fair.
Let's go.
Yeah, I like that. Straight to it.
I mean, I prep quick, Tony. So you get every 3 rounds you're gonna get. It's gonna be like my Jerry Wess shit, if not better.
Okay.
I did that in 11 days. If these guys got 14, 21 days to get ready, I'm gonna do that every trip in a small room.
11 days is crazy.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good to know. Another thing, me personally, I like to know because when I hear battlers talk about battle rap, I'm like, man, you think about this shit way differently than I do. You know what I mean? Even when you ask a battler like who they think won or who they think was dope, they always have a different answer. Your favorite and worst scheme that you've ever done. Your favorite scheme and one that you like, ooh, I wish I could have that one back.
Got you. I'll give you a punch too. There's a punch that haunts my fucking dreams. And it's one I did with M City. It's at the end of my first round. Man, I used to know the timestamp too because it's terrible. But I said, so M City's from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I said something about like chocolate milk and wine, you who Ann Arbor missed, or something like that. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Hate it. I literally watched it when it dropped, and I was like, yo, why did I say that? I was already 10 seconds over the time limit.
Yeah.
I didn't need to squeeze that line in there. I didn't need that one.
Oh my God.
Worst scheme. There was one scheme I did versus Joe Nye. That was pause worthy. That's probably the only one. It was something like had like colon, rectum, a whole bunch of shit.
It was a whole digestive scheme, Chilla?
Yeah, it was like a digestive scheme. And it was like, I mean, technically, writing-wise, it was very well put together. But it was like the way people have used it against me. Like, a couple of different people used that against me. And then I was like, yeah, that is kind of wild to be like, scheme and rectum and shit. That is kind of wild.
Yeah, that was
yeah. Do not recommend.
Yeah.
My I don't know that I have a favorite scheme, man. I was going through a lot of my battles, like old battles, battles on small leagues that a lot of people haven't seen. I was going through a lot of my battles because I'm actually gonna come out with my 25 favorite schemes, and I'm gonna rank them.
Oh, that's fire, bro.
Yeah,
definitely do that.
I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be one of the first things I do when I start my caffeine stuff.
Okay.
But there's this one scheme I did in a no coast battle against a dude named Q-Pop.
Wait,
and
what
it
was
was
his name?
It was a not the dessert scheme. It was a dance scheme. It was all dance. It was all dance moves. So it had like Running Man. It had Cabbage Patch. It had like Sea Walk. It had Bankhead Bounce. He had Battle Bankhead the week before. I had some crazy Bankhead flip. Crazy scheme. I don't know if that's my favorite, but that's one I rewatched and I was like, oh, this is kind of fire.
I was tripping. Yeah.
I think a lot of people like the car scheme with JC, the instrument scheme with JC.
That's in the clouds. I mean,
the astrology scheme versus M City may be my favorite.
Okay.
That was I'm a Capricorn, show niggas with Aquarius. Especially at that time.
And at the time, that's what people gotta understand when they listen. At the time, I was throwing my fucking laptop, and that's when laptops was heavy. I'm like, oh, this nigga.
At the time, that type of writing was crazy, and after it, I've heard maybe like 7 different people do a scheme like that. That was very similar with the same kind of flips. So I would say that's probably my favorite scheme. But there's a ton, man. There's so many schemes I really, really like. But I'm gonna go with the astrology scheme for M City in the 3rd round, man. That's probably to this day my favorite.
Favorite line from you, for me personally, is this one, and I always quote this one. If I peep inside the Jeep you drive and I see papes, I'ma follow you with the chopper like a high-speed chase. What the fuck were you doing? Yo! That was the one. Back in them days, I was in college, Chilla, and I had that shit, because they used to give us in the dorm room, and outside, they give you a whiteboard. And I used to just have battle rap quotes on that bitch. And I had that one on there. People was like, yo, who the fuck said that? I was like, yo, come in the room, because I got this shit right here. Smack DVD, nigga, what's up? Like,
yo, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
funny,
yo,
dog.
that was what it was. And then, of course, like, the rebuttal in Chilla was dope. It's underrated rebuttal, the you know, you could do what I could do, all that there clown and chilling, but I could do what you could do, but I ain't got no room in my rounds for filler. Fire. And then went right back into it.
Man, I wish, Tony, I had a rebuttal at the beginning of my third, bro, and the camera battery died. If you go back and watch me and JC, and you see when it comes into my third round, I'm in the middle of the R&B scheme. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You had a rebuttal in the third.
I had a rebuttal at the beginning of my third, and because he said, what kind of nigga would I be if I didn't give you who you paid for?
Right.
Because I paid him for that battle. I paid him for that battle. And so my rebuttal was like, something about you can make fun of me for paying for this classic, but they're gonna be making fun of you when you laying in that casket. And then it was the beginning of my R&B scheme. The camera only catches the last 4 bars. It was an 8-bar R&B scheme. It was crazy.
And that was crazy because that was like, because the way it's cut and shit, we only see the R&B scheme, and it's like, I know this nigga didn't just start off with this. Like, okay, cool. Like he just fuck what he said. We right back at it. Like it actually makes it look colder because it's like this nigga don't even care what he just said. Let's get back to this complex scheming shit nobody ever heard before. Like, what?
Yeah, it cuts in right there, man. But I wish the camera battery or whatever it was hadn't died because they missed a 4-bar rebuttal and then the first 4 bars of my R&B scheme. And usually when people are breaking down that battle, that's the only round that they have clear to JC. And in my head, I'm like, if y'all would have seen the whole round, this bitch y'all would never say this is a clear round.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was,
I don't know, Chilla. You ain't make money. It made you to get ahead. It's a flipping town. That's what Chase do. I don't know. He was in the back.
Crazy. He went crazy. He went crazy.
He don't even rap like that anymore. But that's a whole nother story. I gotta yell at JC about that. He don't even rap like that no more. Fast, JC.
I wish he did. I had this conversation with Mickey Fax the other day. I wish he went back to that style.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, especially versus Loso, he's been getting in these small rooms and treating them like big stages.
Right.
And they're not. You have to know how to adjust. You have to know how to tailor your material. And so I don't want to see, the JC that beat Nitty on Summer Madness because he followed a very crowd-friendly formula.
Right.
While Nitty's trying to outright him and outsmart him and outclever him and saying some incredible shit that's not really getting reactions, like me and DNA almost. JC is following the formula. He's following the, whatever, and getting the crowd to go crazy. But then he goes and battles Loso in the small room, and he's still following the big stage formula. Right. He needs to go back to how he was when he battled me. Yeah. When he battled Time Bomb,
Young Pablo, what that nigga said. These are 5 words I'm gonna work with. That nigga, that little scheme right there. When he said heavyweight, lose, like he was like, I'm gonna just work with them words and light you up with that. And he kept flipping that shit back. And I'm like, nah, this is that JC powerful,
crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So, anyways, man, yo, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate your time and all that, man. And first and foremost, man, and shout out to you sticking around, even with some of the little technical difficulties and the weather and things of that nature, man. So, you know what I mean? You're always welcomed, of course, and things like that. And I want to make sure that, for all the people that's out there, people who aren't following you, who don't know about all the things you got going on, shout out the Instagrams and the social media and just any projects, anything you want people to know about.
Definitely. At Chilla Jones on Twitter, Chilla Jones on Instagram, Chilla Jones Official on Facebook, www.chillajones.com for all merchandise, information on battles, everything Chilla Jones. Go to chillajones.com. Be on the lookout. I got a new project coming soon. Jones Inc. is the movement. The music movement, y'all about to get hip to real soon. Got joints with Method Man, got joints with a ton of people, man. That's gonna drop that y'all about to see.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I got a question for you. Don't go.
Okay,
go
all right, I'm not going to go anyway. What's up? What's the question?
What's it like being the only returning judge for Ultimate Madness? And have you changed your style or the way you've judged from the first Ultimate Madness to this one?
Okay, that's a good question. Good two questions. It's an honor, man. That just simply put, it's an honor to even be, here because it's history, man. And I was one of the big advocates of, yo, we want a tournament. You know what I mean? I was always in P's ear about it. Like there's old AFM when I was co-hosting over there. There's old AFM joints where I'm like, yo, we need to get a tournament because I bring the competition. Feels great, man. It is a big honor. It's something I take as a responsibility. It's not really something to be like, all right, cool. It's more people follow me now and people like, yo, Tone Bro, this and that. But I don't care about that, man. I'm here to do a job. I wouldn't, like, if you gave me 25 racks to hold, I wouldn't play with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to do a job. I'm here to do a service. And for all the bloggers out there, for our community, I'm the first tracks in the snow. So them first tracks got to be right for the next people to walk through that. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully I'm setting enough of a precedent with my analysis, my breakdown, the way I'm taking it very, kind of serious and, doing my thing. Hopefully that sets the blueprint for the next people. And that's what I take it as. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's a huge honor, bro. I can't even, you know what I'm saying? But nothing about my style has changed, man. I'm very surgical with it, man. I think MCs appreciate that. And the fans that tune in is like, yo, why does bro feel the way he feel? Like, why, you know what I mean? Why did he think that so-and-so won? Like, you know what I mean? So I take that very, very seriously. And it's, so far it's been good, man. So far it's been very good. I can't even lie. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's how I feel about it, bro. Anyway, man, this is Tone Bro closing out Black Compass Media. Appreciate everybody that's out there right now. Shout out to Chilla Jones for joining on the chat, man, and everything like that, man. And everybody that wants to see this, man, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. If you like these series, let me know. Things you want to see me add and things of that nature. I'm definitely going to do that. A lot more series coming. Shout out to the whole team, man. Cola, Posey, Polo, Driz, man. You already know what time it is, man. And all the whole society, everybody that follows the movement, make sure you follow Battle Rap and check out what Chilla Jones has going on. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so let me know your feedback, man. Let me know what you guys think about Chilla's interview. What he said about URL, kind of having a formula with that stuff, and his run. Do you feel like he's currently one of the guys in the running for Champion of the Year? You know what I'm saying? Give us all your feedback. Send that to us. Chilla Jones, all his information will be in the description box, so go ahead and check that out too. Hit me up as well at The Black Compass on Twitter. It's The Black Compass. It used to be The Black Compass Media, but it's The Black Compass, DA Black Compass on Twitter. And we are responsive and everything like that. The podcast, the show will be on as well. This will be on all the SoundClouds, everything like that. So appreciate all of y'all. Appreciate the movement. Shout out to hip hop. Shout out to battle rap. We up out of here. Peace.